Hey, good morning, la da da, everybody. It's a great day to be an American patriot. I supported a president who I thought would be best for the development of Mexican oil. I've seen the charts that have been submitted to the UN. There is so much oil underneath the ground of Mexico. It's the same land as Tejas. They had a line and a dispute over what divided Tejas from Mexico. And there was a war. And there was the San Patricio. The Irish fought on the side of Mexico. Don't you know? So I love both. This is about the King David Project. So much anxiety over what's going on with my family. My sister took my mom from my apartment. Nobody was believing me about getting her COPD treatment. It was like my friend Christopher Barlow. I knocked on his door and prompted his girlfriend that we, uh, I prompted get him to the hospital, but he never made it. The police wouldn't go over to my sister's house. They're like, believe in her. And my friend Charlie, I'm really glad that I think he inspired my sister to get my mom to the hospital. And they said, yeah, she had a COPD flare up. And it sounds like she's going to live. I hope that my mom doesn't go back to my sister's or to my apartment because I've been trying to leave. I have an eviction notice. And I figured out, um, well, let me make this more about not just my personal issues, but I'm making my personal issues and my international issues the same with the King David Project. Everything I say and do, I presume, is being monitored. So I have to go to the highest. I have to trust God and His angels. And He wants me to do the King David Project because I'm a warrior poet, airborne chaplain assistant. I joined the army to play the band, play in the band. And they said, be a chaplain assistant for a while. And over time, I realized why, even though the young buck sergeants didn't like me bringing my guitar, the older sergeants and the officers, they had a look on their face that they were, like, I could see they were pleased when they saw me with my guitar and the paratroopers coming. And the chaplain assistant would let them play a song on his guitar. Because they would look at me at first. I thought, oh, they're gonna be mad at me for like being like a too much of a hippie with my guitar. And this is the army. We're supposed to not be about that. But now I know quite the opposite. I'm glad to see that their paratroopers were having an activity where they could relax and deal with the stress of military life, including war, or just maybe like the motor pool sergeant yelling at you and giving you a hard time and being abusive. Um, I feel like I did God wrong when somebody gave me money for a guitar lesson. I spent the money on a vape pen. I don't think these are good for you. I gotta get my nicotine patch. I think these are gonna be off the market soon. These flavored nicotine pens being marketed for children. Um, I'm not on any marijuana today. This is like day 6 of no marijuana and no VA medication either. And no computer gaming. Other things I've used the internet for in the past. And I didn't turn the TV on today because when you have so much anxiety, I was grateful to God that I only heard, I think, a few fireworks last night. I've slept in my car a few times on the west side of town to avoid the fireworks. Well, they had me running scared, you know. I remember Proverbs, the wicked run when no one pursueth. And I'm like reacting to people's accusations. Why the reality is I've kept my mother alive and I've been trying to get her more medical help. More help. I met with the dreamer who told me to set your intention, envision it, and let it go to the creative force of the universe, however he said it in his Native American way. You know, and I envisioned my mom having her own apartment with an LA County in-home supportive service worker who is not me. And then I can come, and if she's sick of me, she could say, okay, I think it's time for you to go now. And I can go. And then she could have my sister come the next day, or whoever she wants to come visit her. You know, she has a master's degree from UCLA. I want to get a claim submitted in case the Republic of Ireland um, opens things up to review claims again. Many families have submitted claims when the Republic of Ireland became a government because the English took over our land. And a lot of people want their land back. My mother, being of the Royal O'Neill, granddaughter of Sarah O'Neill of Brooklyn, New York, and we were the leaders of all the Irish of Brooklyn. Well, she's part Cherokee, my mom, and so I'm arguing that puts her on the top of the list for the royalty of Northern Europe. She's higher than the Queen of England, Queen of the UK, because she's part Cherokee. I've written to the Cherokee Nation, and I want to tell her doctors to remind her that she's Cherokee. Because she would tell me that we don't come from peasant stock, that we're from the royalty of Europe and we're not as strong. And that gave her some hope when she was worried about getting the virus and dying. I remind her, Mom, we're also Cherokee. And that makes her immune system stronger. And we've already gone through a pandemic. That's how we came to be. We have ancestors that wisely decided to marry Europeans who didn't have the disease. They're locking me out. I'm talking to different doctors. I've already established some communication, at least, about how inviting some doctors to work with me about Native American medicine. My theory that the Pilgrims put the Native Americans put the Pilgrims on quarantine that first winter. The little Indian boys and girls saying to their moms and dads, hey, we got to help those people. They're going to starve and die if we don't help them. And their moms and dads saying, yeah, we know we want to help them, but we have to remember what happened to the people in the lands to the south. We have to make sure that they don't have that disease. So they had to be put on quarantine. And then it was so joyous, when you were able to see, able to help those people, because that's just in the nature of most people. Native Americans, Europeans, Africans, you see somebody that needs help, most people want to help people if they really need it. Well, it's been a lot. It's been real tough to deal with all this, and I'm really regretting getting involved so much with the politics. I mean, even these Mormons that were trying to get me to join their church. I appreciate that passage from the Book of Mormon about when there's a storm, you need to have solid ground. And I came back at them with I heard about how this Eagles song, I'm already standing on solid ground. Like, hey, if something good happens, great. If not, it's not going to shake him because he's on solid ground already. But a lot of us, a lot of us Americans, the poor Africans, the poor Europeans, however we got over here, because a lot of Europeans were put into indentured servitude and died before they could get their freedom. So it's just a technicality. Indentured servant or slave. I mean, what difference does it make if you're dead because the work was too hard? A lot of people ran off the plantations together and joined the Indians. And that's the music, the beauty, the healing. And that's what the King David Project is about. Because I think God wants me to tell people how this is a mental health tool. For if you play music, it can be therapeutic. My student that I guess God led me to. I mean, he's like so much smarter than I am. So much healthier than I am. And he has no desire to do anything with guitar besides using it for its therapeutic value of playing music. He doesn't have a desire to ever perform, be on stage or anything except maybe play a song with